Hi, my name is Georgina from Brinley Investing. I'm just very quickly going to talk you through an example deal for serviced accommodation. So in this example, the property is on for sale at £130,000. And as you can see, it needs quite a lot of work. We viewed this property and it actually needs new windows, new boiler, new kitchen, new bathroom, some redecoration works. The garden looks looking fairly good. The structure of the building is good. It needs new guttering, etc. So I'm just going to show you how the numbers might stack up with the refurb and then what we could expect to see if this property was used for serviced accommodation. So with serviced accommodation, I just wanted to put this slide in to show the standard of the refurb. We also have buy-to-lets, and the standard that you're fitting out a serviced accommodation unit to is a lot different to buy-to-lets. It's a lot higher standard, and we always use buy-to-lets as our exit strategy. So we purchase serviced accommodation units that would also work for buy-to-lets, but the fit out that you're putting into SA is a lot higher. So it's not ideal because your backup, you've already invested quite a lot into a very high-end fit out, and then your backup strategy is buy-to-let, which wouldn't have required you to invest so much into the fit out. But what we're looking for in our 3-bedroom serviced accommodation units is roughly what you would expect to see in a 3-star hotel. So I've just got some pictures of fit out, but obviously this can be done different tastes. It should be pretty neutral though. So the numbers. So if you bought this property for the asking price, just for simplicity, and that was 130,000, you would have a 97,500 mortgage. And that would mean that you would need to put 32,500 into the deal for the deposit. With this one, we priced up the refurb at 25,000. And then the stamp duty is 3,900. Legal fees, we put in a couple of thousand. So roughly speaking, the total funds that you might expect to put into this property is 63,400. Now, because you've taken a house that I think needs modernizing is a nice way of putting it, but definitely needs modernizing, like needs a full fit out, right? Then what you've done is you add value to the property. So whereas the property might have been market value 130,000 for the condition that it was in, based on houses in the area and what they've been going through with similar fit outs to where you'd be looking to take this as an SA unit, you might expect a new valuation of say 180,000. So what you would then do is go to the banks. Obviously, you need to work with your mortgage broker, etc., to make sure that there's no exit fees and look at when you're going to refinance. But what we would be looking for is a mortgage that would not have exit fees to refinance. So we'd be looking to refinance after the refurbs were done for 180,000. So we're saying, hey bank, you've lent us 97,500 on the basis that the property is worth 130,000. We've done all this work and it's now worth 180,000. Can we please have 75% of the new value? So we get a new mortgage for 135,000. So the money left in the deal then would be 25,900, right? Because we put in this much and then we've refinanced, so we've managed to get out this much. So just on doing the refurb alone is 37,500, and that's why a lot of our friends in Sheffield will just do flips, because you can make a good amount of cash in a flip, and a flip is where you, for those of you who don't know, you buy a property, you refurbish it, so you add value to it, but the refurb doesn't cost as much as the value that you've added to the property. So you would then refinance and get your lump sum of money, and then you would move on. That's not what we do, because we're interested in all 4 profit levers when it comes to property. So we're interested in buying at discount, getting good cash flow, which is where the serviced accommodation comes in, the capital growth of the property, and then that allows you to refinance and draw money out. So that's how we do it. So you've now refinanced. If you had 70% occupancy in this property with a minimum number of people with 2 people. So we've modeled this on 2, but the property would sleep 6. The revenue would be 3,696, and that's based on a nightly rate of £151. And we got to that nightly rate by having a look at the comparables in the area. So what are the competition charging? And then we basically work out what the average the competition are charging are. So the mortgage payments each month on an interest-only mortgage would be this amount, and then obviously you've got utilities, which may be less or slightly more than 500. Utilities, by the way, this includes council tax, right? Because this isn't a buy-to-let, so you're covering the council tax that's not covered by the tenant because you're charging it out at nightly rate to guests. So that's a key difference between buy-to-let and serviced accommodation. So council tax, gas, electric, and water. Then you've obviously got internet. And the insurance is slightly higher as well than what you'll see in the examples for buy-to-let and what you'll see if you are a landlord with buy-to-let properties. You're not just needing building insurance, you also need indemnity insurance in case anyone slips or hurts themselves within your property. Then the fees and the cleaning, the way that we do it, it's modeled on different turnaround times. So this bit gets a slightly complicated. So I've just simplified it in the slide by combining 3 things together, and that's your booking agent fees. So booking.com, Airbnb, they'll charge you fees for making a booking through their website, which is quite significant. Obviously, you can bring that down over time if you get repeat bookings, but this is, just what we've modeled on. We're always conservative. Then you've got cleaning. So that's the cleaners to come in and clean the property, and also laundry. So for a serviced accommodation unit, it's extremely likely that you're going to be using a laundry company to make sure that everything gets washed and cleaned and dried to a very high standard. So that's what the 1,453 is. That would then leave you with a monthly profit of 976 in this example, which gives you a yearly profit of 11,714. So the ROI, then based on what you initially invested in this example, would be 45.2%. I hope this is useful. I hope it starts to give you an idea of the kinds of returns that you can expect on a good, well-performing 3-bed sleep 6 serviced accommodation unit. As you can see, there's a lot more cash flow in this than buy-to-let. You are trading your time for money and you do need a significantly bigger power team to be able to do this successfully, right? With a buy-to-let, my buy-to-let probably takes me, and I self-manage this, I don't even use a letting agent, maybe an hour or 2 a month, whereas a serviced accommodation unit might take you 3 to 5 hours a week. And that's with outsourcing, obviously, the cleaning, the laundry, a virtual assistant, a personal assistant, someone to help manage the comms. And there's higher maintenance costs. So I'm just flagging that we're getting some really good numbers in here, but just bear in mind that this is a more time-intensive strategy, so that's something to consider. So I hope this is useful and gives you a snapshot into the profits that you can make in serviced accommodation, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you. Bye.